Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deergan. Alongside me, as always, is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's poppin'?
Hi, LeRon.
Hey, Corey.
I see you got one of them sexy Black Rog allies.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
Okay, because I asked, no one told me.
No, I did answer you in the reply.
Yeah.
You mean this beautiful thing?
Yeah.
Hi. And guess what? My white Rog ally is a free agent. Like it can be on anybody's team. Right, Corey?
Right.
Anyone's team, right?
Yeah. You know, you're always on my team, LeRon.
But reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated. Not by much, you know. If you see my social medias, but you know, like greatly exaggerated.
Well, speaking of exaggerated, also here is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Wait,
my life is an exaggeration.
Nah. Well, we're still happy you're here, and our happiness
Thank
is
you.
not exaggerated. It's
Aww.
What do you say? Normal. Speaking of normal, also here's PK Power, Pat Klein.
Now that is an exaggeration.
Normal? I know. We are an exaggerated bunch here. If this is your first episode, welcome. We are so happy you're here.
Woo!
Lots of new people are here and subscribing, and we love that you're here.
We love you.
Also glad you guys are all here. Yeah.
Is that an exaggeration?
No, Pat.
Okay.
Only for you.
Okay. As long as it's only for me.
No, this is my safe place. This is my happy place. Everything outside of this is a living, burning hell. So I'm so happy I'm here.
I'm so glad it's not burning hell anymore. It is going to be 33 degrees tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty cold here too. Not that cold.
And we can have a Dante's Inferno version of hell, where hell is actually a frozen wasteland.
Hell
So.
yeah.
Yeah, I've always pictured that would make the most sense, to be perfectly honest, than heat. Because heat you feel, cold you don't.
What?
Cold just makes you numb.
That's a feeling.
Numb?
Yeah.
Hey, Paxel bit me because I was laughing in her fur.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
you
man.
don't do that.
Anyways, let's
Move on.
Oh my gosh.
Before we start talking about existentials and
I'm pretty sure our fan base is
Ecclesiasticals.
like every one of these people needs therapy immediately.
And that is true.
Yeah. Speaking of therapy, this is the Boss Rush Podcast, your therapy. You can go to our Patreon and support us at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can get our pre-show, early access to book club, expansion pass, all kinds of perks and extra shows, things like that for just $1 a month. Extra perks. You can choose a tier that's right for you. But if you can't support us financially, you can head over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Boss Rush Network, where you can watch us and see our beautiful faces. And if you want to take us on the go, you can subscribe to us on your podcast service of choice. Leave us some 5 stars on the podcast apps. You know what to do. Leave us a nice review. Don't be the Elden Ring guy. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Don't be IGN from Alien Isolation.
Oh gosh.
Don't be Eurogamer for Mario Jamboree.
Oh god. You can
Actually, just don't be Eurogamer.
How about, you know what, everybody, you just be.
That
you
sounds
just be
like
yourself.
discrimination. That sounds like discrimination, Pat.
They're just salty.
I hear
that's
those
all.
Eurogamers are hot.
Really?
I don't know. You can head over to our website, bossrush.net, and you can check out our daily banters, our features, our listicles, reviews, and more. Cool stuff coming up. I actually have something to plug that I just found out about today. Our friend Adam Gumbert from Respawn Aim Fire invited me to be on their October game show on October 29th. I will be recording that. I think it's a Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. I'll figure that out. So I'm going to be part of that. And then I'm also interviewing Daniel Posner from Finish Line Games next Wednesday.
I know that name.
From Robots at Midnight. So, any of you three that want to join me, since Ed has to work because that's Ed, there's reserve a spot. Stephanie, you had a pretty awesome interview this morning.
Yes. So I interviewed Tobias or Toby he's the PR manager over at Warhorse Studios, and we talked about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Bright and early because he's over in the Czech Republic. 9 a.m. I was nervous and tired, but shout out to Toby. He is a cool cat, man. We just talked about, him working at Warhorse. He's been there since the first game. And then talking a lot about what to expect for the second game. And I learned a lot too of what it's like to try and market at events in different regions. He was talking about his experience in the Americas, experience pitching in the European Union, and then recently in Japan. So it was really cool to get his insight on how he needs to kind of not necessarily change up so much, but there's definitely, different types of audiences in the way they think and sell the game. But, overall, I just think it was a fun interview, so I do feel like the audience, when you do listen to it when it comes out, you'll enjoy listening to the banter. It flowed very well, but there was a lot of exciting things that we discussed, and I learned that there is a collector's edition, which I pre-ordered as soon as I hung up on the call, because he handpicked the collector's edition. I looked it up; it's on GameStop. You get this big ass statue, and a bunch of other amazing things. So I'm very excited for this game.
It was a great interview. I listened to it while I edited it today, which was very minimal edits, but it was awesome. And I'm not just saying that because it's our product. I'm saying that because it was a great interview. So
I would say because Steph is perfect at everything she does.
Hi, thank you.
Aw.
Anyways.
Yeah, so that was really great that I today, and then next week I will be interviewing Anton Albin, a co-founder of his indie dev studio behind Sulfur, which is a roguelike first-person shooter that made it to the PAX Rising showcase at PAX West. He's based out of Sweden. So those are my two actually planned on a calendar recording, and I still have a few in the pipeline.
Yeah, I'm really excited for a lot of these spotlight interviews because there's some way forward stuff coming up too that I'm really excited about the Clock Tower remaster and Yars Rising, working with Atari, so that'll be cool.
Why does
Pat?
that always sound like a pirate game?
Yar
Rising.
Speaking of pirate game, we're going to learn more about a Yakuza pirate game in like 2 days.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let's get another
sorry.
trailer.
I'm becoming very, very frustrated at being an Xbox fan. But anyways, Pat.
Yes.
Anything cool happening in your life?
Eventually, we'll get a side quest out here with me talking about A Space for the Unbound. But other than that, we just got our usual book clubs that are out. For those who get it for free, you got yourself Legend of Zelda. For those who want to pay that extra $1 to get it early, you get to hear LeRon gush about Dead Space.
Make us whole.
Jeez. And for the future, coming up here very soon, we will have Amio, the Smiling Man.
What a game!
Celia Schilling from Yacht Club.
Ooh, really? Yep. Nice. Confirmed. Sweet.
That's awesome.
She's the best. I won't be on that, so give her my well wishes. Ask her when Mina's coming. Oh, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. I really want Mina. It looks awesome. Someone from Yacht Club released new footage today of Mina fighting some shield guy, and I was like, oh my god, I want the game.
Maybe it'll be on the Xbox showcase.
No, the last 4 Yacht Club games skipped Xbox entirely, so I highly doubt it.
I'm just trying to give you hope, man.
There's no hope for Xbox, okay? Anyway, speaking of hope, LeRon, you got anything cool coming up?
I've been back in the gym for a month and I lost 6 pounds.
Nice.
No, I have nothing notable going on right now with Boss Rush. I feel like I'm definitely the either the weakest link or the least common denominator here.
You and I have a serious After Dark coming up.
We do, yeah, we do.
We just have to record it. I have things I want to vent about. Of course,
And After Dark is the place to do it. Actually,
I know. I just yeah. So, anyways, enough about us. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about games we've been playing. You know what, Pat? 2 weeks in a row, I'm going to go your way first.
The hell? I
know.
say share the wealth, man.
I am. I'm sharing my time with you. Go.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, guys, I have played what people are considering the game of the year. At least arguably. And that is Metaphor ReFantazio.
how's it going to be the game of the year? Nobody's going to be able to beat it before the end of the year.
I'm sure as hell going to try. Good one. No, this is a very, very good game. Right off the bat, it's got a lot of the Persona vibes going on with it, with the whole artwork. It's got a whole social link system that you get to, like, when you build up your relationships with your companions and other people, you get to unlock new archetypes, which are your classes that you can turn your characters into, as well as additional perks, like maybe getting like a discount at a shop or something like that. So it's definitely got those Persona vibes. However, the game itself is very fast paced, I would feel, in my opinion. The battle system is a combination of action as well as turn based. For those, the action part comes in with the smacking the bad guys with whatever weapon you have on you at the time. And if you do it enough, you get yourself an advantage in the battle. So you get the bad guys will be stunned, and then you get to do your turn and maybe get an extra turn because they are stunned. Uh, or if they're weak enough, just smacking them with your weapon before the battle changes will kill them. So it makes it fast paced, but also just like the abilities that you can choose and just mix and match your skills can make the battles also pretty fast as well. In this, you have physical attacks, magic attacks, you have synergy attacks, which allows you to combine your turns with other characters, and they like power up together and like do a massive damage attack, which is also extremely beneficial. Like, there is so many different ways that you can just attack the combat system in this game. But the story is also absolutely fantastic. It is a very political driven story where the game starts off with the king of the kingdom that you're in just gets assassinated. And so now the kingdom is in an uproar, and it's like, okay, someone needs to be the new king. And of course, the guy who assassinated the king's like, well, your kingdom is weak, so I, nominate myself. But just when he does that, if you find out the king sets up almost a competition, like he foresaw his death and says, no, this is how it really is going to work. Whoever earns the most trust from the people will be named king.
Ooh.
And so that's the concept of the game, is that you are one of the contestants in this competition to try and earn the people's trust and become the next king, while thwarting like the bad guys who have their own motives and stuff. There is a lot of talk about discrimination. There are 7 different tribes of people. That there's no one that's specifically like, you know, that look like us. Um, like some might have horns, some might have elven ears, and they're like 3 great tribes and then 4 lesser tribes, and the 4 lesser tribes tend to get discriminated and persecuted a lot heavier than any one of the great 3 tribes. It's uh it's a very like it's a very interesting story, and I just only mentioned like just the beginning of it. Like it 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 takes off in very interesting directions, but it is a very beautiful game. The music is very catchy, and it's got probably the coolest mode of transportation I have experienced since, I would say, Final Fantasy VI, with the blackjack, the flying casino airship from Final Fantasy VI. This game has a vehicle called the Gauntlet Runner, and basically it is a ship body, but it's got like legs. That's like, you know, it's got almost like these lizard slash chicken legs that make the thing run on land.
Mm.
And it looks weird as hell, but it's so cool when it's actually like in motion. Like it's very inventive, in my opinion. And it's got a really good battle, or a really good like theme when you're on it as well. So like it's catchy, it's pretty cool looking. I really like this game right now. I've only beat the first major dungeon. Major being like the game has lesser dungeons which are scattered throughout various side quests or maybe through the story, but there's usually like a major dungeon where you have to complete it within a certain amount of days. Part of like the Persona vibe in it, where you have a deadline to meet and you usually have to beat the dungeon before the deadline, otherwise it's a game over. Um, but it's fantastic right now. I can't say really anything bad about this game. It's pretty
So it's
amazing.
living up to its hype.
Yes, it is.
Nice. I
Mm-hmm.
love when that happens.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unlike, the plucky squire.
Rip.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
not going back. I deleted it. It's fine.
yeah,
Look, I supported an indie studio, okay? I played it. I tried. Not playing it again. It's done.
Yep.
Rip.
So I've been listening to podcasts at work. Some of them recently had like dealt with like mafia hitmen, and it made me really want to put or play mafia again. And so I re-downloaded the Mafia Definitive Edition, and for a 4-year-old game, it looks really good. Like we're talking like good cinematic animations, like it almost face mapped the characters that are
Are,
uh through the game.
are you talking about the remake of the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that game looks pretty incredible.
Like even the cities and the reflections, like for a PS4 game, this game was definitely top notch in its graphics department. And it's got a really, really like good story as well. Like I'm almost always on the edge of my seat, like every time a new mission comes around, because it just keeps getting more and more intense. Originally starts off with you just like you meet the mafia and you kind of join in, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a good place to be. You get to make somebody of yourself, but then you start seeing the real dark side and like the scariness of like just the you see like your main character kind of like break when he starts seeing like death all around him. And it's like they do a really good job with the storytelling. I'm very impressed with that game. Also, I've just recently picked up Neva today. Beat the first chapter of that one. A very beautiful game, great soundtrack. Will make you probably tear up within the first 5 minutes.
That's the studio that did Gree, right?
Agree. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I love that game so much.
Yeah, Neva is you play as, I don't know what your character's name is. I don't think they told you, but Neva is the name of the little wolf pup that follows you around. And so you are it's they don't really explain really what's going on. It's one of those wordless kind of games, except for Neva. Because, you call Neva and you're like, Neva, 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 gonna get back together.
Wow.
Sorry. No. So it's got a dedicated call button, which if you're standing next to Neva, it becomes a dedicated pet button. And Neva makes cute little noises as well. She will follow you. She's a pup. She hasn't really done anything combat wise yet, but I think maybe that's later on in the game. But for the most part, it's just going from left to right and slashing at like black hands or creatures that kind of pop up from the environment. Combat is definitely not the front runner of this game. I find it a little bit on the stiff side, but I guess the environment and just the mood that the game sets is actually pretty good. I don't know if you've seen kind of Princess Mononoke. It kind of feels like that kind, like there's like a threat out there in the woods that is like becomes corrupted, or that's becoming corrupted, and it's afflicting the creatures around it as well. And I think that's kind of what you're doing, is you're protecting the wolf pup from this corruption. I think that's your task. And that's kind of what I get so far of the game, but it's been fun. I don't think it's going to be very long though. Just based on how fast they beat chapter 1.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Gree was only about 3 hours.
Yeah,
so-
I think this one's probably going to be somewhere between 3 to 5, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
And finally, Power Wash Simulator, Shrek.
Mhm.
A lot of fun.
Donkey!
Lot of little good detail going on with that one, like the fact that you're in armor, and so when you step, you hear little like chink noises. And now your power washer is called the Muxcalibur, which looks like a sword handle that shoots out water.
Nice.
Yep, and you get to visit all fun locations. It's got some really big maps this time. Like these are very involved locations that you have to clean, so it gives you plenty of hours.
Nice.
Best pack.
That game is that game's the game that keeps on giving.
It is.
And it seems like that game just keeps growing, especially because like it was on PlayStation Plus, right? And so I feel like it has like a Rocket League symptom to it, where like, oh, it's free now, and everybody played it, and like, oh, this is actually pretty fun, and you know,
Yeah, no, I think releasing it on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus was like a benefit. Like, here you get the main game, which is already like 40 hours, and now you just buy the expansion passes, which right now I think has almost doubled the game's length. So I looked at my stats. I've literally played the game for 8 days. So that's got to be over 100 hours of.
yeah,
I don't know. I'll calculate that. That's me.
cool,
8 times 24.
cool.
Yeah, that's
LeRon?
almost 200 hours.
That's a lot. LeRon, what are you playing?
I have not played a single video game in the past couple of weeks.
Wow. Okay, Stephanie, what are you playing?
It's true. No, it's true. I'm not even playing about this. Like I haven't.
No, that's fine.
Like the drive to desire hasn't been there. I've been dealing with a sinus infection for a little over a week, and just
I'd love to get your thoughts on the metaphor demo when you finally get around to it.
I'll let you know because I do plan on jumping on that real soon.
Yeah,
Like
I've heard
when
where the demo cuts off, and it's a very chunky demo. It'll take you about 5 to 8 hours.
okay.
Chunky.
Chunky demo, big boy.
Hmm. Stephanie, what are you up to? What are you playing? Silent Hill?
Same
you
two
finally
games, but
did
I'm
that.
not like ashamed to say it because I'm loving both games I'm playing. So, and I tend to do this one per system, which I know I have Xbox too, but there's nothing to play on it. Nintendo, I'm playing Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom still. I am now in Hyrule Castle, so my progress is slow, but I am thoroughly enjoying it. I love the water block echo, and
Did you like the
yeah,
water temple?
no water block.
Yeah, well, yeah, I meant like the water world.
Water Temple was okay. It was more Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom style. But no, it was fine. For a water temple, and water temples generally get a bad rap.
Mhm.
This one was fine. I was just gonna say I really have enjoyed the dungeon design so far. I do feel they're on the I'm sorry I offended you, Cat. Um, more on the easier side so far. Not necessarily a complaint because for me, I like to enjoy my puzzle solving and I'm not a good gamer. So for me, it's a way to make me feel real smart. And it's fun. It's just pure joy, a lot of fun. I haven't found any of her outfits yet. I've scanned quite a few amiibo and I only get stupid stuff like electro apples and mangoes and stuff.
Yeah, you won't get the outfits until after the Hyrule Castle stuff.
Okay. And then yeah, Silent Hill 2. I just arrived at Brookview Hospital, if I said that right. Between the apartments and the hospital, the story really kind of gets more in depth. A lot of cinematics, meeting Maria and Eddie and these other characters. It's like hooked me. It's intrigued me. I want to know about all of these people. It's I'm just so entranced. And something happened after I fought Pyramid Head for the first time because everything up to that, I was petrified, needed to play with the lights on. I'm scared, crying little bitch baby. But for some reason, when I picked up the game after that fight, I became a lot more bold and less afraid, and I was able to play in the dark. I don't know if I finally become a little desensitized, but when I got in the hospital, I saw those nurses and I'm like, all right, bitches, I'm here. The only time I get startled is if it's a jump scare. So I don't know if I'm just getting better or desensitized, or maybe I'm so intrigued by the story that I'm overcoming my fears, but I'm loving it.
No, I think you're becoming used to it now.
It's the
Mhm.
intrigued by the story
Hmm.
portion. You know, you're immersed in the game now, so the stuff that the game is supposed to do to you is no longer applicable.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, maybe it's both,
Hmm.
right? Because yeah, I've kind of seen majority of repeat enemies. They're still gross, but and also because I'm so intrigued by the story, I find the enemies like a nuisance, not in a bad gameplay standpoint, but more like get out of here. I want to keep going.
That's
Yeah.
when you start smacking them with the lead pipe and then kicking them and getting
Oh,
your
it
getting your frustrations out.
it's so cathartic just kicking and kicking and kicking, and then I realize I don't really need to keep kicking. I still keep kicking.
Hmm.
Yep. You are living
So
the Silent Hill dream, and if you only knew what that meant.
yeah. So, even though it's the same two games, I have made progress and I am thoroughly, thoroughly, thoroughly enjoying it. However, I do want to beat Silent Hill 2 before the Alan Wake DLC comes out, which there's no date yet. The date will
Ooh.
probably be announced at the Xbox thing.
I you want to
It'll
bet it's
probably
probably
shadow
Shadow
drop.
Drop?
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'm like, crap. Like, I want to be able to beat those two by Halloween.
You
So
will.
that's
I have
it.
faith
That's
in
me.
you.
Hmm. Take a few days off
Hmm.
from work.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I guess it's my turn. So I played the Destiny 2 episode Revenant Act 1, which was like I was expecting it to be much longer this time around, because this episode they dropped the entire act instead, because they usually let me back up. In seasonal content or in these episodes, they've been releasing a story bit every week in each act. And so this is act 1 of episode Revenant. They dropped the entire story of the act in 1 week. And I was like, oh, so the last story was about 4 or 5 hours, so I should probably play this and finish it. And it was like an hour and a half, maybe, the story. And it was interesting. They brought back some interesting characters and dropped the new dungeon, which is Vesper's Host, which is about a derelict ship about the Exo robot race, and the creator. It's pretty cool. So I played that. I played some Ghost of Tsushima, but not a lot because I was out of town this weekend. So I played a lot of Zelda. I got through the castle dungeon, and then I just kind of explored a lot to try to unlock the map because that's what I wanted to do. Nothing really new to say about Echoes of Wisdom. It's still fun. I'm not as intrigued with it as I want to be, which is weird. Even though it's a great game, I just like, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing. I feel like it's kind of repetitive with how much choice you have, which is strange.
Mm-hmm.
So especially when you get into the rifts and you're collecting those little yellow tribe friends, right? Like it just kind of feels a lot of, it feels repetitive for how much
Yes.
choice you have. And so uh the water blocks give you a lot of maneuverability, and obviously the beds are like the best kind of traversal to build bridges and stuff, but like I don't know. I felt myself putting it down to play other things, and which is fine, right? And I just feel like I'm not the 2D Zelda person that I would love to be. Like I did this with Link's Awakening too, though, right? Is like I would play it for like an hour and be like, I want to play something else because like I just I don't know. Something about 2D Zeldas just doesn't keep me engaged the way that 3D Zeldas do. But the big different thing that I played this week was the Luigi's Mansion arcade game with my son. The last day of our vacation, we went to a Chuck E. Cheese, which was super fun. And we played the Luigi's Mansion arcade game, which is kind of a on rails kind of Luigi's Mansion, first person Luigi's Mansion game. It's just Luigi's Mansion, and it was fun. And my son had a blast. They love Luigi, and it
Ouija.
was just fun.
Because he
Did
is
you
the superior Mario brother, of
He
course.
did
is.
you know that arcade was there?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
you
we didn't know it was there, but I've known about the Luigi's Mansion arcade machine for a long time.
okay.
Yeah. Uh, I had just never seen one because our Chuck E. Cheese has the Halo machine, which is cool.
I never
But
thought I would hear Chuck E. Cheese and Halo in the same sentence.
yeah, it's strange. My son though loves to shoot things. I'm going to tell you, every single game that had a gun or some sort of laser thing, he sat down and was like, "Let's play." And I'm like, "Okay." So we played the Ghostbusters game, we played the Jurassic Park game, we played some weird pirate game that had a Gatling gun for some reason. It was cool. It was fun. We had a good time. My son loves to shoot things, and my daughter likes to take pictures in the photo booth. So that's where she spent most of her time. Uh, she collects pictures that she takes and she puts them all on her wall. And she's like, I have like over 1,000 pictures from Chuck E. Cheese. I'm like, I know, I see them. I see them all. But that's it for me. So But you
I
know what
want
we
to
should
get. I want to get your take on something.
what?
The
Yes.
the Destiny mobile game.
Oh, right. Yeah. How do I say this without sounding like a Destiny elitist here? It's interesting. I see everybody thirsting over the goth chick character. She essentially looks like X-Men Evolution Rogue was essentially what she looks like. It's I'm really interested to see how they tie it into the main game because it is not canon to the current timeline of Destiny, but there are confirmed alternate timelines and like dimension jumping. There's a character in the game that specifically does that throughout the game. Elsie Braid is a timeline jumper. And so I'm interested to see if this story kind of folds back into the main stories somehow, or if we're just going to go play through an alternate timeline and see where the theories go. Because there are characters that are the same. Like Ikora is a major player in the mobile game, she's one of the Vanguard leaders in Destiny 2. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm interested. I signed up for the alpha testing in November. And so we'll see. But the third person mode has me really intrigued. Some of those powers in the game seem super cool that aren't in the main game. There are new heavy weapons like a grenade launcher, which aren't really in Destiny 2. Like a in Halo that you could carry like the big kind of things, and it went into third person mode. Like it has that kind of stuff in it. So I'm really interested to see how this works, especially on a mobile device. My interest is if they would ever think about porting it to something like Switch, because Destiny does not exist on Switch at all, but they do get a lot of mobile style games. Like Star Wars Hunters, for example, is a huge mobile game. And it's on Switch and nothing else. So we'll see. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm worried about the predatory monetization because Destiny 2 is already known for that. And that is a paid game, let alone a free to play game. So they also said there are going to be raids and dungeons, which I'm like, how are you going to make that work on a mobile experience?
By draining your battery.
So yeah, I also wonder how many people are just going to download Android emulators and play it on PC, because that seems like a major thing to do. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network. All right, let's move into our topic of the week. This is our Metacritic Draft quarterly updates. Basically, we're just gonna kind of go over our scores real quick and kind of see who's winning and who's losing, and which games have big fat goose eggs, like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Rip.
We can fix that.
We'll talk about it. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Pat?
Yep.
Since you drafted first, you get to tell us about your updates.
I only have one game that hit the 70, so I think I'm pretty solid right now.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Rub it in, Pat.
Yep.
Thanks.
So out of the 800 points that I could currently get, because 2 of my games are still coming out, I have 689 points. So
nice.
Yep.
Nice. I would say it's safe to say that Pat is winning.
Yeah.
At that moment. So yeah, I have a few updates. I am currently sitting at 559 points. I have 2 games that don't have scores and 1 game that was delayed, so I guess 3 games that don't have scores. So Star Wars Outlaws sits at a 75, which I thought that game was gonna do a lot better than it did. Renatus is at a 57, which I thought that was gonna do a lot better than it did.
Yeah, yikes.
Just based on the pedigree of the studio and the games that they put out.
Your highest scoring game is Destiny 2, the final shape.
I know. This is so surprising because that game has never Destiny expansions have never scored over an 80. So and then Echoes of Wisdom is at an 86, so that scored a little bit higher than I thought, but man, the Assassin's Creed goose egg is, the kicker. But, Pat's proposing an alternate, so we'll figure that out after we do our updates. Stephanie, you have a couple
Yeah,
updates.
so I made a slight comeback. Definitely not enough to take the lead from Pat, but despite me going cashing in on Nintendo, which has been a letdown with Mario versus Donkey Kong and Princess Peach Showtime, I had Astrobot at a 94. Oh, I guess Visions of Mana 75. I guess that could have been better. Kunitsugami Path of Goddess scored an 80, and lovely Silent Hill 2 remake made an 86. But yeah, Astrobot was my shining hero, and I'm sitting at 654 right now. I have 2 more games, Sonic Shadow Generations and Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl.
Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, Stalker 2 is gonna score in the 90s. I will guarantee you that. So, well, LeRon, I guess that leaves you.
At this point, I've just started drinking. That's all.
Oh no. Well, you still have a lot of games that need to come out, so it's not like it's a lot
I
of
don't know.
pending stuff.
Well, let's talk about that for a second here. Like, Konami swears that Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is going to come out this year, but it's fucking October 15th. Where the fuck is the release date at?
Wait, they're still in.
Xbox has the marketing. It could be at the partner direct.
Wait, they're still insisting it'll come out this year?
Yeah. It's October 15th. Like, is it gonna come out on December 31st? What the hell?
Well, rumors were a November release date.
Yeah, GameStop put a tweet out that said it was coming out in like the week before Thanksgiving, and then they deleted it because they weren't supposed to say that. And
and then Dragon Quest HD 2D remake, I still don't think has a definitive date yet.
No, that does have a definitive date. That's mid-November.
Okay. We know Mario and Luigi is right around the corner, so that's another one of my TBDs. And then Flight Sims 2024. 2024 is in the fucking name. Where's the date?
That I can't tell you.
All
right, probably not going to be on the partner direct either, because
I've had a couple of games that did some high scores, like a Dragon Infinite Wealth had an 89. Sorry if I just flashed somebody on camera just now. I'm sorry about that. I had like a really high itch. I'm sorry. God of War Ragnarok. That was my one that I knew was going to get that. That's if it wasn't for the fact that this is a port, like this would have been a game of the year contender for Sony.
The PS5 version is like a 94, but since they didn't come out in the same year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then Dragon's Dogma 2 has an 86. So, but beyond that, like I've got games that are like, ugh. Rise of the Ronin disappointed me, and apparently disappointed all the critics as well. Now, Lollipop Chainsaw Repop. I took down on Pat's advice, and Pat, this is nothing bad against you or whatnot. I'm actually shocked it didn't do better, because like I've heard the like review train from content creators and stuff like that. They're loving this game. So why the hell is
the Metacritic only has like I think 8 reviews on this, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Something stupid here, And Flintlock looked great, in pre-production, but like it kind of its own faults out of the gate is what hurt it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just sad that Lollipop Chainsaw is not sitting at 69 right now.
Yikes.
Oh,
That game.
Yeah. Though, LeRon, I do believe you have some late bloomers. I imagine
Yeah.
Mario and Dragon Quest are, if they aren't in 90s, they're going to be high 80s.
Mario and Luigi is not going to get a 90. I can say that. I'm thinking Mario and Luigi at best gets an 86.
No, people are saying amazing things about the Dragon Quest right now.
The Dragon Quest is going to be my other like saving hope. But honestly,
I
like
don't know.
I'm in last place, so I'm looking forward to voting first next year's Metacritic Draft.
I'm telling you, Flight Simulator is going to score really high for you.
Yeah, as long as it comes out this year.
It'll come. It's called Flight Simulator 2024.
I know. Hold on. Let me go to.
They can't change the title.
Let me go to Game Pass. let me go to the Game Pass page right now.
I think it's available for preload.
I don't want to launch the Xbox app when my computer starts. No, you're not slowing my shit down.
I will look at my side.
Let's see. Oh, go ahead. I'm looking for Flight Sim right now.
Pat,
I have a November 19th release date right now.
Yeah.
Projected.
Flight Sim?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, because I don't even see it on Game Pass.
Pat, what are you proposing?
Well, since I chose for LeRon, I propose that Steph chooses for you.
I don't even know what else is coming out this year.
Not much left, but
we got a list.
Legacy of Kain.
Too bad we can't go to GameInformer.com anymore.
I know, but GameSpot has a pretty good one. We've been using that for Nintendo PAL Block.
How about our friends for Anton Blast?
Anton Blast could be a good one.
Didn't that just get delayed too?
December 3rd, though.
Oh,
that's the hurricane's fault.
Did anyone go after Life is Strange Double Exposure?
I did.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
There's Shadows of the Damned, hella remastered.
Yeah, that was one I was thinking of.
Actually, Stephanie, I'm going to give this to you, and I cannot believe I'm about to give this to you. Put Red Dead Redemption PC up there.
Nah, give him Lego Horizon.
I was actually thinking that too, Lego Horizon.
I'm very excited for Lego Horizon.
Wait, who's giving who what?
Well, or Fantasia Neo Dimension was another one that he was looking forward to.
Yeah, I expect that to score in the low 70s.
I think we're just having Corey sub one out for Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if out of all of those, I would like to think Red Dead 2 PC is going to be your highest scoring option.
No. Red Dead 1. Red Dead 1 never came to PC. Yeah, Red Dead 1 never came to PC. It's coming now. It's coming October 29th.
Oh, duh. Yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Biggest brain fart ever. I don't know. I think Anton Blast will also do really well, but
well,
I am biased for my indies.
Well, you're picking for me, so pressure's on.
Okay, we're gonna replace that with Lego Horizon Adventures.
Okay, Lego Horizon Adventures. Where's my scores? There it is.
That's such a Corey pick too.
That's why I went with that. I'm like, let's go with what he's most likely gonna pick.
I think it's so funny that game is coming to Switch and PlayStation 5, but not PlayStation 4. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, there you have it. There's our Metacritic Draft updates. The Discord is updated except for my alternate. So you can keep track in our Discord if you want. And
wait. We're not using my Audible?
No.
You already had an Audible.
I did?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Okay. Like I said, I'm looking forward to being able to go first next year. So
LeRon's looking for more games to All right. Quick. Do we want to go into questions or do we want to go into the banter? I know we've kind of been running a little bit longer, but
let's go to questions. Let's go to questions because I mean, like, hey, first of all, head over to bossrush.net to check out to check out the featured banner. To check out one of the featured banners, including this one, which is Final Fantasy VII's Tifa, a good character.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that next week. So, all right, listener questions. If you want to write in, you can head on over to our Discord and look for the Boss Rush podcast thread, or write in via Patreon or email or Twitter or whatever other source of writing you could. Snail mail. I hope you don't know my address, but if you do, I guess that's fine.
I know your address.
That's I know. It's fine. Door's always open. Sam Hall writes in, hello, my friends. Wanted to ask a question about the show itself. Have you all discussed doing a video game news show or something along those lines? I think it would be pretty interesting if you all gave your takes on a lot of the news that's going on in the industry. I love the topics and the banters. Don't get me wrong. Thanks. I mean,
we changed formats from being a news show.
Yeah.
And it was honestly because like with all the other like dedicated shows to like the actual platforms, like we had Arsenal X for Xbox, we had PlayStation, we had PlayStation, PC, and then eventually Xbox representing the Crossroads podcast, and of course I was about to say GameCube, Nintendo Switch was represented in Power Block and stuff like that. Like by the time we got to recording the Boss Rush podcast, we were essentially regurgitating news that was basically put out on all the other channels, so it seemed like we were always repeating ourselves by the time we got to, because Boss Rush podcast went last, where I think if we were to, I don't know, like I feel like if we ever shifted back to like reporting the news on the Boss Rush podcast show, like we should probably be the first show to record, and then everybody else like can do their thing.
Well, yeah, but I think the Boss Rush podcast is actually in the best place it's been in a long time in terms of.
Oh, I agree.
What we're doing with it, and the side stuff that we're doing for it, that, and also like our bandwidth for shows, like, I mean, we can barely keep up with what we're doing anyway. So like doing a new show outside of Pow Block every week, I guess, is kind of, we're all at our personal limits in a way. So
we will quip the occasional news somewhere within randomly in our topics.
Yeah, I mean,
we will pull news when it absolutely is necessary. I mean, like we even though we do topics versus news, like we Boss Rush podcast, we've done a lot of coverage on layoffs. We've done a lot of coverage on like the instant gaming news that's come out, like or we're always reviewing like the showcases, the state of plays, the directs and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, but I do like the format we have right now because like it actually feels like it's a bunch of friends who love video games talking about video games.
Yeah. Plus, like, I mean, if there's a news story somebody wants us to talk about, ask a question about it too, right? I mean, that's another way to get, if you want us to talk about something that's news adjacent, like write in about it. We accept questions about all topics, including the news. So, it's just, I think the way the show is now, plus the production that goes in behind it, I think doing the news we would be doing people a disservice by delivering the news late also.
Yeah.
We will say though, we are very weak with knowledge on news regarding esports as well as news regarding streamers. So if you ask us questions about that, we're
gonna crash and burn.
I do want to say though that I know Cordy is starting her own podcast about esports and streamers. So if you want stuff about that, you can check out Cordy Yikes. She didn't tell me what the title of the podcast is yet. I know I'm trying to help her set it up a little bit. So you can check out her podcast. I don't think it's going to be affiliated with Boss Rush really at all, but she is. So we're going to help her out. So stay tuned for that, I guess. But yeah, if you want to know something about something that's going on in the news, you can always ask about it.
And also ask us about cats.
I have even less knowledge about cats.
I know, right? Yeah. It'd be the Pat and Stephanie show when that's going on.
We're okay with that.
Our next question comes from Stephen Myers. What are your thoughts on the current landscape of remakes, remasters, older game collections, and updates?
Oh, I feel like I talk about this at least once a month.
My opinion has actually flipped on this a little bit, I think. Because I used to be like, all right, I'm kind of done with this. These games are they're just trying to delay time, right, until they can release another game. But I kind of look at what PlayStation is doing at the moment. You know, I know a lot of people are mad about the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster thing.
People
but
should
also
be more mad about the Until Dawn remaster.
Yeah, I know. But my thing is though is like, Horizon's been out forever, so you should have bought it already. If you're mad, then you just suck. But also, I think what PlayStation is trying to do is their whole thing is prestige first party single player experiences, right? And they want their games to always be the best of the best. And that's why you saw The Last of Us be remade, The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. You know, they kind of remastered the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, right? The PS5 ports of those are amazing looking. God of War looks great. And so I think what they're doing is we're going to have the best console available on the market power wise, and we want our games to look the best they possibly can across the board. And so I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a God of War 18 remaster in the coming year. I know that the Greek collection is supposedly coming. That's a hot rumor right now.
That's a more desired remake in my opinion, because that's at least 2 generations old.
Well, I think they're just remasters though. I don't think they're full on remakes.
That's what I mean.
I would love a full on remake of those games. Like, yes,
give me Ghost of Sparta and whatever the other second one was.
Chains of Olympus.
Thank you.
And Ascension. But that collection is supposed to be all 6 games that aren't currently available. So 1, 2, 3 Ascension, Ghosts of Sparta, and Chains of Olympus in one collection. And I guess they're going to start doing other older games too. And I think that's great. I think if you're going to be the company that wants to be the Apple of the gaming industry, right? Like, we're prestigious. We don't, we're going to have these great games, and Nintendo's tried to an extent too, right? But I think Sony, with the power and their technology forward thinking type stuff, like, they just want to be the best, and they want their games to run the best and look the best and play the best. And, I think you're going to see that moving forward. So my thoughts on this have completely kind of turned around to where I'm pro this. I think I always want the game to run the best and look the best, in my opinion. Yeah, certain games on Switch, I'll trade the portability for the quality, but also, like, if I'm going to play it on the TV, I want it to look the best. I paid a lot of money for that TV. I want it to look the best.
So. I'm going to say this, like, I'm a sucker for a remake or remaster as long as it's fucking worth the salt,
Right.
It's not just about the nostalgia factor. It has to be something that substantially elevates the game and stuff like that. I also am in the I'm in the realm where, like, AAA games take years. Like, I mean, like, I forgot who was bitching like 8 years to develop a game, and then that was Concord. Yeah. Okay, so while people are developing games that take that amount of time, they're literally using like a third of the time to do a remake or a remastered, unless of course it's being built from the floor or from the ground up again, stuff like that. So while you've had your studios or while you have your AAA studios working on these labors of love that basically are gonna we're at a point now where one good AAA one good AAA title per studio is coming out per console generation. Just think about that for a second. One
if it
good
makes it,
AAA title is coming out per console generation. The typical console generation is 7 years. So if it's taking 8 years to make a game now, that means it's kind of forgivable that Kingdom Hearts 3 took 2 console generations to come out. You know what I mean? But that's another conversation in itself.
That's a licensing. That's a Disney licensing thing, though. That's not a that's
Yeah.
that wasn't a development thing.
That would take up a whole show to talk about that problem.
Yeah. So remakes and remasters, I feel like they have a nice place in the scheme of things now, because people are looking for games to play and stuff like that. And sometimes they don't mind if it's a game they played before, Now, yeah, the question of 7 years, is a game 7 years worth remastering or whatnot? That's up to the people that want to play the games.
Mm-hmm.
Like Corey said, if you hadn't played Horizon Zero Dawn, I didn't play. I had Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4. I didn't play it until it came out on PC. But I think that's also because my taste as a gamer shifted from console to PC by that point and stuff like that. So I don't get the same experience on consoles that I used to, and stuff like that. But I played Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 to death. And you damn near know when the Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out. I bought that shit and I'm playing it now.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the best way to play it.
Yeah,
and if you're gonna give me good quality, Pat, you brought up the Until Dawn remake, right? Yep. I hear that thing is trash. I hear that game is not good at all, and because of the things that they changed about the game, they made it full third person kind of choice based now instead of just the fixed camera angles, and I hear some of the character models just kind of don't look right.
They're buggy as hell too,
and it runs at sub 30, even though the PS4 version runs at 60 on the PlayStation 5.
See, I was looking forward to this, but I've been so out of it because I've been sick.
Everybody's saying get the PS4 version on PS5, and it's available on PlayStation Plus. So if you already have it, then you already have it, and the frame rate is
declassifying that one.
What'd you say, Pat?
I thought they were not declassifying, decommissioning it.
I mean, I still have it in my library.
So. Well, yeah. I meant you can't get the PS4 version anymore because they want.
Yeah, you can't go to the store and buy it.
Yeah, well, that's See, that's kind of that's a little bit whatever, but that's also a different topic of game preservation. But yeah, I just think if you're gonna do something like that, that's where this whole conversation turns the negative route, right? Where oh, this remake kind of sucks, or
yeah. Let's see, Ballistic Moon. I don't even know who they are.
They are so when the team that did Until Dawn, what are they called?
Supermassive.
When they went with Bandai Namco to do the Dark Pictures anthology, these are people that didn't want to go do that and form their own studio. And they wanted to do a horror game kind of like Until Dawn. So they were going to remaster the first one, and supposedly
this is going to be their proof that they can do it on their own.
Yeah, and supposedly this one, there's added content in there, and they apparently tease a sequel.
You know what? I have heard that they have added a new ending.
Yeah,
this
because
that was advertised. Yeah,
because the bonus content within the game also includes interviews with Hayden Panettiere, and she is doing new mocap stuff. Which some people have speculated it's her doing one of the added scenes within the game, but I don't want to spoil it, even because I just listened to a whole spoiler cast on that game, even though I didn't play it. I just like the people who were talking about it. But either way, it's like, man, this is I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like ultimately like remakes and remasters have a place as long as they're quality
Mhm.
and as long as they do something to enhance the experience, because like the Resident Evil 2, 3, even Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 remakes, fantastic.
Yeah.
Dead Space remake, fantastic.
Definitive ways to play those games.
The Final Fantasy 7 remix project, fucking fantastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, and this is also giving up to people that are actually like they love the art style, they love the craft and stuff like that. And like when you have stuff like that, like it's amazing. The Uncharted editions. You had the Nathan Drake collection, which was a big remake, which was a big remaster.
Yeah.
The Uncharted Lost Legacy, like all that. Like yes, I already mentioned Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Hell, if it does well, like they may actually go back and fix Andromeda. At some point. Stuff like that. And that's the other thing too. Like I feel like people are so dismissive about remakes and remasters right now that they don't realize is that sometimes this is what gets the companies to go back to these series. There's a reason why the Dead Space remake happened, because Dead Space was dead
came out.
Dead Space was dead for 15 years.
Yeah. And I mean, even smaller remakes like the Crash trilogy or the Spyro trilogy or Wind Waker on Wii U, like these remakes are just quality of life. Let's make this game feel, the Ratchet and Clank remake, right? Like that those are just like good quality games that people love growing up, and now like they are PS4, PS5 quality. Look at this, right? And it's the game you remember. It just looks amazing now, right? And
I'm gonna throw the Yakuza 1 and 2 Kiwami games in there too, because those are
exactly.
Yeah. So I hope that answered the question, because I feel like some of us could talk about this topic all night about the good ones.
I want to hear.
We're passionate.
I want to hear Steph's opinion.
Yeah, I was just about to say Stephanie hasn't said anything.
I know.
It's all right. You guys have basically covered everything that I would say, so it's okay.
He's like, you pulled the words out of my brain.
It's okay.
Guys, we were just talking about news and how, I just saw something completely late breaking. You're going to hear it first here. Actually, you're probably going to hear it everywhere else first, but earlier today, Nobu Uematsu, made a video, and a lot of people, he claimed that he was taking a step back from video game composing. And a lot of people pretty much concluded that he's retiring. Well, he just came back on Twitter and said, "No, you guys misunderstood me. I'm not retiring from this. I'm just stepping back so I can work on other things as well." So he's coming back out of retirement, guys, for one day.
Woo.
Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Very excited. Wicked exciting.
Yeah.
That means he will probably be making the Final Fantasy 7 remake theme song as well, because he did the other two.
Okay.
That's exciting. He's not done yet.
Our next question comes from David Lasby. Anyone replaying Alien Isolation for the 10-year anniversary? Also,
Hell no.
Thoughts on the announced sequel?
Wait. Stephanie said no. Stephanie, no. You have to play this. You have to play that. You have to play that.
I watched a Let's Play. Is that good enough?
Let's Play is just as terrifying.
That's fine. I watched it, so it counts.
I played that game 2 years ago for Spooky Month, and that game played with my emotions so bad. Oh my god! I was like, you know what? I will never talk shit about Silent Hill again. That's a fucking lie, because I will talk shit about Silent Hill till I'm blue in the face. But
shocker.
No, there is a game coming out. Actually, I think it's this week or next week. Based on a what is it? Quiet Place? Yeah, Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's doing the exact same thing that Alien Isolation did. It is
Mhm.
using the microphone to monitor sounds. So if you have sounds coming out in real life, the creature's gonna hear you.
Oh man, I'm good.
Yeah, I think the fact that this game's getting a sequel is awesome. I will not be playing it. So
I'm pretty sure I will play it because like if we weren't recording the podcast tonight, I was going to be watching Alien Romulus again because it's out on digital.
How about instead of they calling it Aliens or Aliens Isolation 2, they can call it 2 Aliens Isolation.
No, that's not gonna work because like the Alien Isolation lied to us. There was more than one xenomorph.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't
the
play
entire
it.
time on the game in the first game. Like
Great. I was gonna
shit,
say, what, they had 2 xenomorphs chasing after you.
shit. They had more than two in the first game.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know how you can make it scarier. That's
I do have to say I'm very happy that Creative Assembly found their audience for that game. You know, I mean, I know that game.
Alien versus Predator Isolation. Throw a Predator in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm glad they're getting a sequel. Creative Assembly is a great studio, and
I'm glad for it too. I don't know when I'm gonna fucking pick it up and play it, but I'm glad for it. And I'm saying it not because I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever gonna play it. It's more like I have to get my nerves up to play this game because the first game fucked with me so bad. But I'm happy that I don't know, like it's is it truly confirmed though? Because like I didn't like the way I didn't like the way it came out at first, like the announcement of it. I was like, this is some bullshit. I don't believe this. And then like when some more credible sources got onto it, I was like, okay, I'm starting to believe it.
No, I think it's one of those very pre-development announcements where we're not going to see the game for at least another 5 to 6 years. But
I tell you what.
That's the thing. That's the thing is like, why are you announcing a sequel like right now? But like, didn't they just come off? They just came off of that canceled Hyenas game though, right? That's what they were making. That kind of team-based, I don't know, extraction shooter. That,
as far as I know, Sega forced them to make that game, and then Sega forced them to shut it down.
Yeah. Well, I heard it was actually good, like pretty fun, but like they didn't feel like there was an audience for extraction shooters, which is the problem that Marathon is finding right now, right? The Bungie's game. And the only thing is that it's Bungie and their shooters are great, so people will buy it because it says Bungie on the box. But yeah. Anyways, Creative Assembly, we salute you for making a sequel. Excited to see how it does. Our last question comes from Mary Helen Norris. She writes in and says, if you had to pick one horror game to live inside and survive for 24 hours, jeez, what would you pick?
You know what? Throw me in Silent Hill.
Oh, no.
I can torture myself better than those monsters can, so I think I have a chance.
Does Luigi's Mansion count?
I laugh only because I can understand precisely what you're talking about, Pat. Oh my gosh.
The monsters will be like, you know what? You got your own issues. We're just going to stay here and torture someone that doesn't realize they have issues.
Wow. I think Luigi's Mansion counts, right? That's spooky light.
Sure. Yeah. It counts. Sure.
Do you really want Dr. Egad to be spouting into your ear for a whole 24 hours?
I'm just trying to think of like a scary game that is like scary, but there's no risk of dying. That's the horror game I'm trying to think about. I don't even.
I will throw myself into Resident Evil 4 World.
I bet I know why.
Oh yeah.
You want bingo night.
Leon! I'll just shout Leon. He'll swing by and save me. No, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I can at least outrun or just find a place to hide. Like I'll just go hide in a bush for 24 hours and I'll be fine.
Oh man, Resident Evil 4. I'd hop in for the same / opposite reason. Just saying, 8 is in that game. I'm a fan. So yeah, I don't really know though, to be honest. I guess we have to wait for. Will LeRon just live on the Ishimura?
I was gonna say LeRon will live on the Ishimura.
Yeah. So. I don't know. Should we wait for LeRon or should we just tell him?
It says LeRon's typing.
Is he typing?
Oh, he had to take an important call.
What do we think what do you think his work call's about?
Somebody's computer broke down and now he needs to go out and fix it.
Did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Mm-hmm. You plug and unplug it.
Other guesses on what LeRon's horror game would be.
I still think it would be Ishimura, but let's see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would be Dead Space or. I mean, I don't really know, right? I mean, I guess.
You know what? I would put him in Haunting Ground. Give him a nice dress, give him a dog, and have a bunch of perverted people chase after him.
Does Destiny 2 Revenant count because it's vampire hunting themed?
Only if
potion crafting.
Only if Red Dead Redemption: The Undead Nightmare counts.
Sure, yeah, it does.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did I miss something?
Yes. What horror game would you live in for 24 hours and survive in? We thought you would live on the Ishimura.
I would, but I would be just as bad of a wreck as Isaac Clarke. I was thinking Dead Space because all I need is a fucking plasma cutter.
Cut your own limbs off.
No. We talked about that on the.
That's how they're gonna get you.
We talked about that in the book club.
I know
about that poor sap that we actually had to sit down and listen to his video log of him cutting his own limbs off, and I'm like, wait a minute, dude.
You got 3 done.
I'm like, if you just shot yourself in the head, like they can't reinfect you.
Yeah.
You killed your own brainstem.
Well, they did that with the captain though, because the captain got stabbed in the eyeball with a needle, so his brain was jumbled a little bit there.
It'd be I'm thinking Ishimura and probably second place to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it surely how it won't be the fucking the Sevastopol station in Alien Isolation. Hell no. No.
I voted Haunting Ground for you. We'd give you a dog and we'd have a bunch of weird ass perverted people chase you around a haunted castle.
I'm with it. I was also thinking.
You also get to wear a cute dress.
Yeah.
Let's play a game since LeRon was on a work call. LeRon, which one of us 3 picked Silent Hill to survive in, and which one of us picked Resident Evil to survive in?
Pat picked Silent Hill to survive in. Stephanie picked Resident Evil to survive in.
Who picked Luigi's Mansion?
Corey, of course. There's nothing frightening about Luigi's Mansion. What the hell?
Ghosts are scary. They go.
I'm sorry. I'd rather be dropped. I'd rather be dropped in the booze house in Super Mario World than any of the Luigi's Mansions.
Well, on that note.
Wow, we're some nerds. Wow.
And that's news?
Only took you 248 episodes to figure that out, huh, LeRon? Anyways, we're gonna scoot on out of here. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. You can subscribe on YouTube, rate us on podcast services. Check out Boss Rush Plus for book clubs and interviews. Check out Pow Block and all the other things that we do around here. Stephanie, LeRon, Pat, thank you for your time tonight as always. Love Tuesday nights. And everybody out there, thank you so much for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace out.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.